He brings the news and he's always on point about the Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, and the city Detroit. Demetrious Johnson. He do it for the kids. DJ going live, sports with Big Mike, ripping that Spartan pride. Demetrious Johnson. Gospel angel got that spiritual sword, and for them big time players, we got awards from George. Demetrious Johnson. Keeping it big fella, just like me. The truth's what he tell you. Demetrious Johnson. Looking out for the community and the kids. It's the big fella, man. You know who he is. Demetrious Johnson. I'm so hot. Hey Detroit, so hot. Demetrious Johnson. Detroit, you're now in tune with the sound of Mark Lang, and the show starts now. Hey Detroit.
Good evening and welcome to the Demetrious Johnson Show, the big fella hanging out. Yeah, we got our Facebook going, pumping again, y'all. We finally got this thing right, man. Let me thank my man Mello, Mike. Mello, thank you so much, Mello, for always having my back, Mello. Can you get on the mic real quick, Mello?
Hey, what's going on, DJ?
I personally always want to thank my man Mello with the Mello Mix. You can get DJ Mello, Mike. Hey, DJ Mello, tell everybody how they can get your mixtape, man. How they can get you mixing, baby.
Hey, you can always check me out at DJ Mello Mike 313. And that's at Mixcloud.com. So it'll be Mixcloud, MixCloud.com/DJ Mello Mike.
All right, that's my man Mello. Hey, let me bring in my posse. Let me bring in the coach. What's up, coach?
What up, man? What's going on?
I'm good. How you doing? What's up, Solo?
Mm-hmm.
I can hear you.
Hey, I'm good. I'm in a better space today.
You know what? I'm in a great space, too. So what we're going to do, with not further ado, let me bring in the conversation, y'all. Let me bring my man, my good friend, an attorney out of St. Louis, Missouri, my good friend, Gerald Christmas. Gerald, how you doing, man?
Hey, DJ, what's happening? What's up to your whole panel, too?
Yeah, hey, man, let me tell you, everybody got to be rejoicing right now. Everybody. Let's talk about that verdict, man, on Chauvin. Let's talk about it.
It's a good day. It's a good day. Guilty on all counts. I knew it was a good sign. I told you if they come back early, that's a good sign. I didn't expect guilty on all three counts, but that was a good outcome. The prosecutor did a great job.
So what do you think was the turning point in that entire case? Because when I tried to watch some of it. It's kind of difficult for me to watch some of it. But when watching it, the defense attorney really had no basis. I mean, they was playing the game without a ball. You know what I'm saying? They was playing without a ball. How do you think? What do you think happened in this entire case to allow this guy to be found guilty?
I really think it's the technology is the defining moment, is what we're saying, the video. Without the video, there's no telling where we would have been with this case. But the video and the different angles that they showed, and the video that we didn't get an opportunity to see, that they showed at the trial, was the convincing point. Because the video was just entirely too compelling. You actually sat there and watched someone die. Struggle initially, complained about being able to breathe, till he went to the point that we literally saw him having that knee on him. So that video was just overwhelming, and you see how quickly they came back, how overwhelming and how impactful that was in combination with the expert testimony.
But this is my concern, Gerald. We're speaking with Attorney Gerald Christmas out of St. Louis, Missouri. Let me tell you my concern about this whole case. I thought the judge in this case did everything he possibly can to make sure it can be an appeal going. I mean, some of the things he said, tell me, how does, what is the Congresswoman name that they tried to say?
Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters. talk to me about how they're trying to say that judge is saying what she said is basis for an appeal, which he's sending signals to the defense attorney to use that to get an appeal. Talk about that.
Well, the judge has set the sentencing for 8 weeks now. So he'll be sentenced in 8 weeks. Once he's sentenced, he can then file for an appeal. He'll have 60 days to file an appeal. It is concerning with this judge, and he was real slick in the way that he did it on several occasions. I don't think it was just the occasion with Maxine Waters, and these are the couple of times that I had an opportunity to observe the trial. One time before with some evidence, he raised that issue. We talked about it yesterday when he said, if you bring this up, I'm going to call it mistrial. And we got into a little discussion that I didn't think he should have said from the bench. And definitely the comments about what Maxine Waters commented on us having to be more vigilant if we don't get the outcome that we were all hoping for, clearly was not grounds for a new trial, but for him to say that from the bench was inappropriate. What happened was the defense attorney had asked for a mistrial by saying these comments out here by a congresswoman could have influence on the jury. Remember, the defense attorney had already been asking that the jury be sequestered throughout this trial. He's raised that every time something has occurred. When Mr. Wright was shot, he asked that the jury should have been sequestered, and all of this would have an influence on them. So he's raised this motion multiple times, and he had assistance from the judge twice. The judge never ruled in his favor, but commented in a way that would lead you to believe that what he was saying carries some merit towards an appeal. I think an appeal is going to be an uphill battle, but always remember, appeal is a different level. As you move up in the court system, the judges are more conservative as you move up. As you go to the appellate court, the Supreme Court, and it's my opinion that, that's where they really hold the whole institution of white supremacy in check as you move up the system. When you get to the Court of Appeals, when you get to the Supreme Court, those are those courts that make those rulings that keep the system in place. So we have to see how that plays out. But for right now, today was a good day. He's going to be locked up for 8 weeks until sentence. And I guess that's what we want to watch next to make sure that he doesn't get a bond and gets out, in between now and his sentencing date in 8 weeks.
JC, you got a question?
Yeah, Gerald, I heard something too today when I was listening. They said that he had talked to the listeners and help us understand. They say he had waived a jury sentencing. What does that mean? They say they had waived a jury sentencing. What does that exactly mean?
When he had the option, it varies from state to state. But the fact that he waived jury sentencing means that the jury will not sentence him. He waived his right to have the jury sentence him, and he's elected, if he was found guilty, that the judge would sentence him. So instead of the jury coming back with a punishment, now we'll wait for a judge to come back with one. If he had not waived jury sentence, then they probably would have had a number to go along with their guilty verdict today. So he would have been, guilty on, I think the max on the second was 40 years, but they would have come back and said, guilty on murder second with a 40-year sentence, for example. Guilty on murder third, I think the max on that was 25 or 25. And usually defense attorneys will waive jury sentences and move to a judge to sentence. I would have done the same thing because the rationale is that the judge is going to understand the sentencing better because they see these cases all the time. They know what the common numbers are and they go along with it. You kind of believe that, the judge is also going to probably be more law enforcement. Most of your judges are former prosecutors, so generally they are on the side of law enforcement. This judge gave some indications that he was on the side of law enforcement. I believe that not necessarily it was Maxine Waters' comment comments as much as it was Maxine Waters and how he feels about her. I think he allowed us to see some of that, which could possibly be an indication of how he feels about black people, period. But I think those comments definitely had something to do also with how he felt about her. Just the way he said that from the bench, and that was inappropriate.
Hey, Gerald, and it sounds like you're getting kind of muffled on your phone, so make sure you get back from the phone or something, because you sound real muffled, and we can't really understand you. So please take that into consideration. Solo, you got a question?
No, I do not.
All right, so let me go back to this, Gerald. I mean, the reflection of what we thought was going to happen, what we saw was going to happen, it just show you how the judicial system has not been kind to black folks. For everyone to be on pins and needles when we actually saw a guy kill a man in broad daylight in front of other people and felt comfortable doing it, and then assume he would not face any consequences. What does that tell you, the mindset of our judicial system, particularly the white judicial system?
It tells you that we don't have a lot of faith in the system, that the system has overwhelmingly favored the white population over the black population. There's no doubt about that, and that's why I say that we have a legal system. And we saw the legal system at work today, and we saw the legal system today serve us some justice. And you have indicated that that does not happen often, and definitely does not happen often enough. So the question becomes, is this going to be a turn now? Or are we going to see this more often? I think definitely having a video will help in making sure that we can get more justice in these situations. And we're not going to always get justice, but these situations definitely help, and they help people have more belief and more courage to participate in the system. Because jury service is very important, and you have a lot of people who don't want to do jury service. And whether it's a big major trial like this,
Gerald, black people don't want to do jury service. Tons of blacks.
Right. You have an issue convincing black people to do jury service, and you need to serve on the jury. I never get the opportunity to serve on a jury because I'm an attorney, and more than likely any other attorney is going to strike me. They're not going to want me on the jury because they think I have too much influence. But you want to serve on these juries because you can really make an impact in many small cases. The normal cases that are going on in your city will impact you more than these national cases that are happening now on both a civil or a criminal level. Meaning civil, if it's a car accident or slip and fall or medical malpractice, you want to be on these juries to make sure that people are getting the compensation and the justice they deserve. And we need you as attorneys. We need black people on these juries.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, man.
Let me just say this, DJ. Having 6 on this jury, when I talked to you earlier, and you said, you still didn't know when we talked earlier before the verdict came out, I knew it was no way that 6 black people were going to walk him. There was no way possible. I knew it was a conviction. I didn't know it was going to be on every count, but I knew it was a conviction. You weren't going to convince 6 black people to walk him.
Well, I'm telling you what, about time we got some black folks that had some spine, because we've seen in the past black folks spineless and won't do what they have to do and be right and be fair. And be fair.
Hey,
go ahead, Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
I know we got to go to break, but real quick, I have one more question. Keith Ellison, that lead prosecuting attorney, said today that this was not justice but accountability. What was he saying? What was he saying when he said that, Gerald? What do you think he was meaning when he said that?
30 seconds.
Because Floyd is still dead, and nothing is going to bring him back. We got some accountability, but nothing is going to bring back George Floyd, no amount of money and no verdict is going to bring him back. We still got a black man that lost his life unnecessarily.
Gerald
Over
Christmas.
$20 counterfeit goods.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Attorney Gerald Christmas out of St. Louis, Missouri. Appreciate your friendship.
Well,
Appreciate you coming on. The big fella, the coach, the expert solo. We're going to come right back with Taylor's Take. Holla at us, 313-778-7600. We'll take calls in a little bit after Taylor's Take. Right back.
Honey, that's the last time I worked.
Yeah, because you got callers.
Okay, what we got, Mello?
You got Steve, Redbone, Tia,
Okay.
and Terrence.
Terrence. Okay, cool. Thank you, boss.
Not a problem. So we good. We got about a good minute before we come back. So
Okay, great. Thank you, man.
Aaron's number.
248-230-2333. He said Myron even came out to his house, and it was easy. Nice guy, calm, no pressure, and no charge to talk to him. Let's call him now. 248-230-2333. Isn't it time you get affordable life insurance? Or do you want your friends passing the hat during your funeral? Call Myron Z at 248-230-2333. 248-230-2333.
Impact 360 is a resource-driven, solutions-based business that caters to new and aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking to start, grow, or manage their business's online presence. To put it simply, we assist entrepreneurs at every stage of their journey with capturing their audience's attention, converting that attention into revenue, turning their customers into advocates for their business. For more information on Impact 360 services or to find out how they can help your business, visit us at www.impact360.com or give Kim a call at 314-789-2612.
Demetrious Johnson.
Hey, check this out. There's black folks that live in this country feel they still are in slavery, how they've been treated. When they dummy down education, when they take the resources out of your school system, when they redline you where you can't get loans, where you can't get a meaningful job to take care of your family.
I'm saying, and I'm looking at history in terms of what has changed.
Let me ask you a question, man. How many laws have truly benefited us? That we got the maximum opportunity to benefit black folks.
We are 910 AM Superstation. 910, the Superstation. The oldest radio station in town since 1922.
Welcome back to the Demetrious Johnson Show, the big fella flying high with the compadres. His boy Solo and his boy the coach. Hey man, that was a great conversation that we had with him. You know, it's crazy, man. I was with my man Big Mike today at the barbershop, right? And I get in my car and I'm listening to the verdict and I'm nervous. How is it that we rejoice on a verdict? You feel me? That's when you know we got problems. When we have to rejoice on a verdict, it's terrible, guys. Tell me what you think, JC and Solo, then we're going to go to Taylor. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lo. I thought you.
Well, it's just the fact of what Christmas had said earlier. You know, the higher we get up in these court systems, that's where the white supremacy lies in them keeping us in check. And it filters down to the local levels in regards to sentencing, the way we are tried and other people are not tried. But it put me in a good space today. But if you just think about what has happened over the years, stuff we still had on video, where a young brother was killed in front of his girlfriend and daughter in his car, and that officer got off. You know, the man in South Carolina shooting the elderly black guy or older black guy in the back, he got off.
It's just so much out there, man, and all that tells you is that we have been getting murdered from the beginning of time of law enforcement. Now it's so prevalent now because everybody has video, and even having a video don't mean you're going to get a conviction.
Coach?
Yeah, just echoing what Solo said, you know what I mean? But, it took me to even a stranger place, too, DJ and Solo, because while, you're rejoicing about it, there's still a part of you, too, that says, we're waiting on a system that we know that's not fit for us, but then we treat each other wrong within our own community, with the things that we're doing. You know what I mean? The things that I thought about some of the lives, even though this was good for us today, I thought about some of the lives, too, Solo and DJ, that were not taken by police, if you know what I mean.
I got you.
See, we want these people to be accountable, and then we don't even be accountable in our own community. I think about little Jalen over there in Illinois. You know what I mean? Nobody's saying nothing. Young man gunned down. Didn't no police do that. So it took me to that, too, saying that we want somebody to be, we praying that they're accountable, and the system we know don't work, and we ain't even accountable to each other in our own community.
That's a good point, Coach. Well, let's do this, man. It's time, Mike, for my girl Taylor with a take. Let's hit it, Mike.
The Demetrious Johnson Show presents What's Your Take with Taylor. Each week, Taylor provides a take on a compelling and thought-provoking topic. Her takes are captivating, engaging, and she's always opinionated. We want to know your take. Chime in and let us know. It's What's Your Take with Taylor on The Demetrious Johnson Show.
I got a story to tell.
What's up, Taylor? How you doing?
Hey, good evening. I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all?
Good. What we got tonight?
Okay. So I wanted to talk about an interview that happened last week with Joe Budden and Kevin Samuels. So if you don't know who Kevin Samuels is, he is a dating coach, consultant, etc., who has gone viral multiple times for basically evaluating women. So he has a show where women come on and basically ask about dating advice, specifically on how to land a high-value man. He's known for rating women really harshly, like giving them 4s and 6s. He requires them to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, and they can't use 7s. So that's how he kind of made his claim to fame, at least most recently. He's allegedly been in the game for years. So in this last podcast, with the Joe Budden podcast, he talked about numerous topics that were just really compelling. One of the things that I wanted to pull out from his interview with Joe was about leadership in the Black community. So basically, he was saying that Black women don't submit. And if they do submit, it has to be, a Harvard-educated man. And he was saying that we have a culture of not teaching our women to submit by teaching them as children to submit to their brothers, to serve their brothers, to submit to their cousins, serve their cousins, uncles, fathers, etc. And while we're not teaching these girls as children to serve their brothers and to submit to their brothers, we're also not teaching our boys how to be leaders. And so this, lit a conversation on women are raising basically boys to be men that they don't want. We're saying that, there are no good men out there. There are men who can't lead, etc. But he's saying that the blame is on the Black woman for not teaching her daughter to be submissive as a child and, pushing her son into be leaders. So I wanted to take time to talk about that. Do you think it's appropriate? He also references in other cultures that they teach this level of submission as children to their girls, their daughters, etc. Like I think he referenced like the Asian culture and the Hispanic culture. So with that being said, do y'all think that it's important that we teach our young girls how to submit by submitting to their brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, etc., and also teaching our boys how to lead.
Hey, Solo, I'm gonna start with you.
What's your take?
What's your take, Solo?
Well, I'm just a firm believer that we should teach our kids to respect one another and respect each other's space. I don't think a woman should have to submit to any man, but I know one of my sayings was when I was married was, we make the rules. I make the rules, we change them together. And what I meant by that statement was, when it comes time to make the rule, I'm going to make it. The only way it gets changed is through pillow talk with my significant other, changing my mind. But on a whole, I don't think we should teach our women to submit. I think we should teach our women to respect. And on the men's side, I think most definitely we need to teach our young men how to lead and be leaders and be respectful.
So, Coach?
I tend to agree with Solo. You know, I mean, first of all, should no woman be submitting to no weak man? I mean, submitting to what? You know what I mean? What is he submitting to? Most of these men don't even run their household. You know what I mean? But the second thing is that I cannot understand for the life of me, Taylor, is why people even listen to this guy. This guy destroys women, and they call that's more troubling to me than anything. These people call this guy for advice, and he beats them up. I don't get how he makes his money. People calling him, and he attacking them like that. This guy beats women up unmercifully, man, and they call him for advice. I don't get that.
Yeah, he can be kind of ruthless in his responses, for sure.
So, well, my take is this. First of all, I have daughters, right? And my daughters are not to submit to anyone. I mean, anyone. My daughters better have independence, but they need to know how to love and be respectful to their husband or whomever they're dealing with, boyfriend. But submissive to me is slave. That sounds like he's slaving for somebody. That's how I look at it, and that the context that he's putting it in, right? I just think this: you're treating your lady right, and you're being nice to her. She's gonna do what you ask of her, and it's real simple. If you ain't treating them right, you're treating them bad, you're doing all kind of stuff. They're not, because as bad as these men are out here. Women are trying to find a good guy who's going to be there at their back, man. I mean, they looking for that, and it's hard to find, no question about it. Nobody's perfect, but that is really hard to find. So if you got a good man, that good man he's going to trust you, he's going to believe in you. And now, I do believe this, it ain't 50-50 in no relationship. So it ain't going to be everything is split evenly. No. That ain't even logical. Because when it comes down to it, someone's going to have to make that crucial call in a crucial situation. And you know what? You want a strong man to make that call in a crucial situation. But what I do find interesting, you don't never hear and I think this comes from black women being treated badly and been treated disrespectfully, that they would say stuff like, you don't need no man. You do it on your own. That's because they didn't have a man in their life who treated them nice, who provided and took care of them and protected them. All right? So I think that's the case. However, a man who provide, take care, secure that woman, you would never hear him say that. She gonna submit to me? Nah. It ain't like that. So I think it's ridiculous for that statement. I mean, it's just, we really wasted our time talking about him and what he's doing, because I don't listen to him. I don't think so. I just think people with low self-esteem listen to those kind of people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. And I don't listen to him. I don't know much about the man. I've heard of him, but I don't know much about him. So
first and foremost, I think that we need to really break down what submission is. I don't think, at least biblically, it's not a form of slavery in any context. I think it's more aligned to what Solo was saying.
Hey, do me a favor,
and
Taylor.
So I think there is an appropriateness for.
Time out, Taylor.
Yes.
Don't talk about biblically. When I had a damn bishop talking about I hit his car and now he had body injury. So we ain't gonna even talk about biblically no more on this today.
What that got to do with Christians?
Because
Look,
you talking about biblically.
One Christian does not represent the principles of the Bible.
Okay, this is what I'm saying.
I mean,
This
look,
is what
we're
I'm
all
saying. I had a bishop. Maybe you didn't hear my
I'm not
story.
the bishop.
Hold on, time out. Don't talk about no biblically submissive because I had a bishop that I barely touched his car, submitted some damn insurance, called my insurance people, had a lawyer, talking about he was injured. And I was moving 2 miles an hour.
What does that have to do with biblical principles?
Don't say biblical because I don't want to
You're
hear
talking
it.
about a person. having that
Right,
character?
exactly. All right. Well, let's still go back to your point. Go ahead.
That's on that person.
Go back to your point.
The point is, I think that he has a valid point in that we are not really grooming our boys, and generally speaking, to be leaders. Often we see women coddling their sons, taking care of their sons excessively, while forcing their girls to be strong and independent. And that does lead to women not having strong men because we're raising weak men who we cater to.
Taylor.
Because they represent a boyfriend,
Taylor.
ultimately to them.
We agree with you. We agree to some old weak ass, soft ass men out here. Sorry ass, soft. Female acting
Are
asses.
you agreeing that?
Huh? Am I agreeing what?
Okay. And that, how do we resolve the child rearing?
Well, let me tell you how you solve it. You want to know how I resolve it? And I'll let JC and Solo jump in there. But let me say this: you resolve it by stop selecting these sorry ass men and putting them in your life, knowing that they soft ass, knowing that they ain't got no backbone, knowing they ain't got no character, knowing they ain't got none of those things. That's really simple, because you know what?
You know what?
Okay, tell me what.
You got to go down to the foundation. There's a quote that says that it's easier to raise strong boys than to fix broken men, or something very similar to that. So we can't, that's the outcome because we haven't raised strong men. We need to look at the root and identify what can we do
but
so that
let
we are
me tell you what the root. Okay, that's good. Let me tell you what I think the root of the problem is. When you got these women talking about you don't need no man in your life. When these parents, these women are telling, because they had a sorry ass man in their life, and telling their daughters, you don't need no man in your life. You can do it on your own.
So what should women say?
You don't hear no white women saying that. You don't hear.
Well, that's not true.
I have never heard. Time out. I never heard a white woman tell a white daughter, you don't need no white ass man in your life. Quit it.
There was a clip that went viral of a little white girl talking about how she didn't need a man.
Okay,
so
one out of a damn million. A little white girl. You still didn't make the point about the mama.
That's important.
A little white girl. You didn't say the mama. The mama didn't say it. The little white girl said it.
As a child? Where do you think she learned that from as a child? She has to be like 6 years old.
She probably thinks she's black and was hanging around black women. That's where she got it from.
It's okay to say it's okay, DJ, it's okay to say I'm right.
If I thought you was right, I would give you kudos. But
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That I'm right.
All right, JC, jump in here for me.
Well, so I think
Go ahead, JC. Jump on in there.
I think there's some value to what Taylor's saying. I do. But I think there's some value to what you said too, DJ. I think they agree with both of you guys. I do.
Solo, jump in here, man. Help me.
Man, this is what I think. I think there are so many beautiful black women out there
No
that's
doubt.
bringing these girly guys up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Most of our beautiful black women know how to save money. They know how to manage money.
No
they
doubt.
got good, steady jobs.
Yes.
And they get these old derelict-ass boyfriends
Yes.
that, hey, baby, let me drop you off at work
Yes.
while I use your car all day or sit at home and play PlayStation 4 and 5 all
bro,
day.
you're preaching
Then
so
come
low.
back late
You're
picking
preaching
you
so
up.
low. Stop preaching, baby.
They late
You're
picking
preaching.
you up.
Amen to the congregation.
But then when you got people like me, DJ, JC, you know what I mean? Good jobs, everything going for us, and they pick these old derelict guys that mama been taking care of them for 10, 15 years and is still doing it.
Okay,
it's
so
just
fellas,
sick.
can I point something out? What I heard
Yeah.
is that those type of men are attracted to more masculine women, so women who have their stuff together because it's easier for them to just grab a hold instead of having, competent men who are financially stable, who are high value, to use Kevin Samuels' language. Those kind of men, from what I heard, aren't attracted to that kind of man.
Who said that?
Wow.
Ain't attracted to educated women?
I heard that from roommates.
Ain't attracted to educated women?
They're saying that it's easier. They're saying that it's easier when we see those like more independent type women who have more masculine energies and they're not fully operating in their feminine energy.
Oh,
that
my
the more
God.
derelict type men are more attracted to that because they're not in competition with them.
Hey, let me tell you something. So they want a derelict ass man. Well, you know what? You get what you want.
Or is that what
You want a
they
derelict ass man? Guess what you
wanting?
gonna get? You gonna get a derelict bum ass man. And then check this out. Then you gonna get the ones you may be a nice guy. Let me tell you what I'm about to say. You may get a really nice man, really good guy, real sweet, but he's gonna be a mama's boy. Guarantee you. He gonna be all on his mama,
And it goes
sucking his
back
mama
to the
titty,
point
still
of-
sucking her titty. And I'm telling you, still. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get these grown ass men, mama's boys, soft as hell. Women know they can take advantage of them. Gonna get used. That's what you're getting. We got a bunch of sorry black ass men. Then I got the bishop telling about he was injured. What the hell?
It all circles back to the bishop, huh?
Yeah, it does because of the beliefs, that belief system. You got you got black women raising soft ass men, baby boys. Hey, Mom. Let me say this, Mom. Let your son stop sucking the titty. It's okay. Get off the titty. It's okay. You got a good. Might be.
I also don't think that it's appropriate to fault those women for that.
Who else you gonna fault? Okay, Taylor. Can I say something to you?
How about the man being involved?
Taylor, let
Do
me
you
say
think
something.
a strong
Taylor?
father would allow?
okay.
Answer this question,
Okay.
DJ. Do you think a strong father who is involved in that household, who has a strong presence with that boy, would allow him to be sucking on the tit like that?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Okay. I wouldn't do it. Right.
And you
I
know
wouldn't.
they wouldn't.
But Taylor, let me say this. Let me say
How
this.
can we ever
Well,
put the blame on the
can I say?
father?
Well, let me say what I can. Okay. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm giving you a fact. I'm giving you a life factual situation. My mama raised her sons, my brothers. All of us got some balls. All of us are tough. My daddy didn't raise us. I was raised by a single parent, a mama in the projects of the city of St. Louis. They called the Dawes Webby Peabody Projects. It was a 3-bedroom apartment with 9 of us in it. And we raised it. I didn't get out of the projects till I went to college. My mama still stayed in the projects till I went to Detroit to play for the Lions. And I was able to get her up out of there. So I saw a strong black mama raising boys to be strong black men. And you You know my brothers, so you know they all are strong and are doing well. That's what I'm telling you. But black women, a strong black woman, can raise a boy to be a strong black man. I'm telling you, rather than sitting up here and holding a hand and feeling sorry for him. Mom, I fell. Oh, let me wipe you off. Get your ass up, son. Get up.
You know, I respect what you're saying, but there is also currently this push to stop talking about the strong black woman, because what we're saying is that this woman is strong because of all the trauma that she's had to endure, that she's, carried this load that she shouldn't have had to carry. And for some reason, we prize that, and it's not right. It's not.
Who said? Hold on, Taylor. Who said? No. Now you're speaking out of the side of your neck, because who said a woman got to be traumatic and go through all kind of trauma to be able to raise a strong black boy? My mama just raised us and she bust her ass.
That is a conversation. What I'm saying is that this is a new age conversation that is happening right now in our community.
Taylor,
about
what did that got to do with? Somebody help me, JC. Solo, jump in there and help me. Solo, please help me.
As a black woman.
But you're black.
See, this is the point of making. I tell you from the vantage point of a black woman, and then you want to ask Solo or JC to mansplain?
No, that's what I'm asking you. No, that's what I'm telling you. Can we tell you from a black man perspective? You talking about the weak ass black man, and we're black men, and we tell you why they're weak black men, and you're gonna tell hold on, no. Then you want to sit up here and tell me it's because, well, how can you tell me that? Well, it's real simple how I can tell you that, because we're black men. And Solo and JC, I don't know exactly how deep they came up in their environments. I can tell you from my life experience. This is no one telling me that. That's why I can talk about it. And I experienced it. It ain't like I came with a silver spoon in my mouth. That's what I'm saying. Help me out. Help me out, one of y'all. Help me out, please.
Well, I grew up probably about 3 blocks away from Pruitt-Igoe. So I grew up in the hood. And I think I turned out to be a pretty nice guy. But the thing of it is, Taylor, is that we got so many black women out here that's bringing up these brothers. And once these brothers come up, guess what they do on our sisters? They burn out. They mistreat them. They move on to somebody else that they're going to redo the whole scenario over again with. So I don't know. Help me out, JC.
Well, I'm a little different. I did grow up with my dad, very involved. Both mother and father in the household. But my mother was a strong presence in the house. Still, my mother always said, and I told DJ this one time, and she was kind of controversial when she said it. She said men have always done what they've done, but when women start doing the same things that the men did, that weakened the family. Remember we talked about that?
Yep, sure did.
DJ, we
yes,
had
I
that
did.
Conversation.
And
my mother came on and she said, she said men have always did what they've done, but when the woman started doing what the man was doing, that's what really weakened the black family.
Wow. Now, so what you saying, Taylor, when a man, so in other words, when a man was stepping out, that strong black mother had that home still intact. Then when the mama started stepping out, everything fell apart. That's what we're saying.
That reminds me of something that Kevin also said. He said in the interview that marriage is about duty and not love. And he gave the example that our grandmothers and our grandfathers, we didn't know that our grandfathers had kids on the other side of town until after he died at the funeral. That's when things came out, because grandma had a duty to keep that secret, to keep the household intact. And so you didn't find out about all the trifling stuff grandpa was doing until after he died. And
she said the trifling. She said the trifling.
You know it's true. Almost every black family has something like that. Let's not front. We know it's true.
But this is what I'm saying, Taylor. Hey, a strong black man gonna provide for his family to the end. See, a strong black man ain't gonna die and have his kids and family trying to scramble to pay for his damn funeral. Strong black man gonna have that in place. Strong black man gonna make sure his daughters and everybody are taken care of, his family first. That's what a strong black man does.
What does it mean to be what does a strong black woman mean to you?
A strong black woman is a woman who has independence, who can move on and be able to handle herself with or without a man, be able to make strong decisions, and have the support system, be supportive when she needs to be, and be submissive in terms of intimacies when she needs to be, and be a part of making strong decisions.
Earlier you said that women shouldn't submit.
No. See, submitting in that case is two different things. Submissive in intimacy is a little different than what you're talking about.
Well, I brought up biblical principles, and you said.
Oh, you said don't go no biblical on me. Let me bring it up again. That bishop said he got hurt. The bishop said I hit him. The bishop is suing me. Tell him about he's injured.
Judas was part of Jesus' disciples, so
we ain't gonna even talk about. We ain't gonna even go there because you know what? When JC, what did you say the other day about when they knew Jesus was about to have a problem? What happened, JC?
When Jesus was about to get hung on that cross, the disciples bailed. They got the hell out of there.
Right. They said, damn, you on your own, boss.
Yeah, they got out of there.
You my man, but I'll see you.
Yep, you on your own on this one.
All right, Taylor, man. You just, whoo. Hey, Mellow Mike, is it time?
I want to wrap up by saying this. I think I have a ton of amazing black men in my life. My friends are predominantly black men. So I am surrounded by amazing black men, and I do think that they are out there in abundance. I do think that we have an opportunity as black people to raise our sons to be leaders. And being leaders also means serving, to be servant leaders. And I don't think there's any shame in saying that.
Hey, can I tell you this?
I also think that we have an opportunity to have empathy for women who have had to deal with trauma and make the best out of their circumstance. I think we don't allow as much grace as we should. Some of these women are dealing with serious generational crisis. I think we should show grace.
I think we agree with you on most of everything you talked about. That's why I don't know we debating. We said what you said. We agree. We just know some soft-ass men. And there's some baby, grown-ass men, 40, 50 years old, still mama's boys. That's a joke. That is a joke. And it's that. And trust me, it is that when you, oh my God, I was about to say something. I'm going to keep that to myself. It is a joke when a man run around here at 50 years old.
Okay.
I don't want to go there. I'm gonna be nice tonight. I'm gonna be nice tonight. No, I'm gonna be nice tonight. Okay, I'm just telling you that some weak ass men. I don't know about Detroit. I don't know about Chicago. I don't know about New York. I know in St. Louis there's some weak ass, sorry, trifling, mama boy, soft ass men. That's what I know. That's all I know. And that's
all you know. There's some amazing black men in St. Louis.
Well, you're talking to three of them, so we know. That. We know that. We ain't saying that. I heard you say that. I'm telling you, you're talking to three of them.
There to be balanced.
And guess what I've heard? I heard your daddy is off the charts awesome. That's what I heard. So you've come up around a strong black man. Hint, hint. And everybody knows that. So what are you talking about? So you didn't experience not having no strong black man around you. Hint, hint. You know what a strong black man is.
I just said that. I said I'm surrounded by amazing black men.
No, I said your daddy is a strong black man. That's what I said. I ain't say surrounded by other black men. I said your daddy. That's what I said.
Agreed, but he's a part of the black man. 100%. I have an amazing, strong black man as my father.
All right, man. All right, go ahead. Give your remarks because I'm still having a hangover with the biblical reference you hit when the bishop hit me when he was injured.
That's my remarks. Really, I heard this quote that says to chew the meat and spit out the bones, and I think that is applicable to what Kevin Samuels says. Often there is some truth in what he says, and I think it's appropriate for us to talk about it.
Do you agree you agree with Kevin Samuel?
I think in some areas I do. I don't blanketly agree with him, but sometimes he does make sense.
Okay. I mean, a blind squirrel catch a nut sometime, right? A broken clock is twice a day, right?
It's right, twice a day? Exactly. So, I think that's what anybody, just pick and choose.
Well, I can tell you this.
Thank you.
I can tell you that we're about to go to a break. Taylor, your take done wore me out. It's always good talking to my girl, Taylor.
Pleasure.
Love you, T. Love you, Taylor. That's my girl.
Love you.
Yeah, right. That's my girl, Taylor. I'm crazy about some Taylor, y'all. That's my girl, Taylor, with her take. The big fella, the coach. Oh, my goodness. And the expert. Coming back, y'all, we're going to have some phone calls. Holla at your boy. Lock it in. Mellow Mike, bring me back with one of those hot mix. The big fella, right back. Thank you, boss. What we got, Mello?
All right. Still got Steve, Redbone, Tia.
Let them know as soon as we come back, we rolling with them, baby. Okay. We got Steve.
Redbone.
The Demetrious Johnson Show presents What's Your Take with Taylor. Each week, Taylor provides a take on a compelling and thought-provoking topic. Her takes are captivating, engaging, and she's always opinionated. We want to know your take. Chime in and let us know. It's What's Your Take with Taylor.
If people commenting on there?
Big fella, I feel a storm brewing. Oh, big fella, don't hurt him. You went there with the big fella. I told you not to go there with the big fella.
Man, buckle up, y'all. We got my boy DJ Mellow Mike kicking it. You can go to themixcloud.com and pick up DJ Mellow Mike 313. Mellow, it is like that, big dog. I love some Mellow Mike, man. I love some Mellow Mike. He be bringing it. All right, it's time to go to the phone lines, y'all. 313-778-7600. We about to go mano a mano with the Motor City. Let's hug. Let's go to my man Steve. Let's kick it off. What up, Steve?
What's happening, DJ?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good. Put it to you like this. JC was right. And the fact that to show you how sick our village is, you got these women calling up Kevin Samuelson late night talking, YouTube trying to get some personal advice. The village is sick. Well, our relationship, if you look at the black community, because I am a black man, we in trouble. Because anytime a YouTube sensation is doing your relationship counseling, we are in trouble. So JC is absolutely correct. What's wrong with the women calling this man on YouTube to get some advice? Now, I'm going to say this with the Derek Chauvin case. And this is a message to all black people. So what? So what and now what? Yeah, just 2 days ago, we saw a 7-year-old black girl shot in the drive-thru, killed in Chicago. So what? You sit here, like you said, DJ, we sitting here around a campfire waiting on the verdict in America, where, correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, Solo and JC, I think we all pay our fair share of taxes, right?
No doubt.
But we sitting around here begging. We sitting around here begging for justice. How does that happen? How does that happen? You pay full share everything. You make up 51% of the prison population. You pay full share taxes. You ain't got no education. They done stripped all of your cities where you live, and you begging for justice. That's something sick now. You talking about weak men, and that's the very definition of weak men. How you gonna sit back and let them destroy your village?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Huh?
I agree, because that's what we talk about. We talk about how it's crazy that I'm sitting up here on pins and needles and to get what's fair, what should be fair, and we have to celebrate and rejoice in what should just be fair to us, but we got to rejoice and be excited about it. I'm hearing somebody stuff in the background. I don't know who that is. So it's amazing that we got to go there, Steve. We got to rejoice on that.
And the oppressor sits back with his feet up on the desk laughing, because we still sing and lift every voice. We still holding hands. We still singing. We still marching. But they taking. They still telling you gonna get yours when you die. Their streets paved the gold, honey, milk and honey. And they telling you get yours in the by and by. But they getting theirs right now.
I know that.
But you paying for it. It's off your back. It's off your dime. You sit back, you go through a pandemic, and not one politician missed a paycheck. but you begging for a stimulus check, and it's your money.
Yeah.
It's your money. That's the sickness. That's to show you how we've been socialized, how we've been propagandized in America. They had, as a kids, all of us are going to raise our hands. They used to tell you to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yep.
To a country that enslaved you to get you here. From 1619, they got you saying Pledge of Allegiance, when the only allegiance you have is to God and your family.
And I remember this when I was in.
But they got you.
Hey, HD, when I was in elementary school, you had to learn it.
You had to recite it.
Yeah. They made you learn the Pledge of Allegiance.
Brainwashing.
Hell,
That
we
was
still,
and if you did, it wasn't a matter of you sitting down. You couldn't take a knee.
No,
you couldn't take a knee.
No.
But that's the brainwashing. They got you singing "America the Beautiful," the Star Spangled Banner, the Pledge of Allegiance
to the
They
United
just
States of
brainwash
America,
you
to the
keep
republic
you,
on which
to
it
keep you-
stands. One
Exactly.
nation under God,
Exactly.
indivisible, with liberty and
Exactly.
justice for all. Damn.
But tell me this, DJ, while you were saying the Pledge of Allegiance, when is the first time you learned that you was 3/5 of a man?
Right. I didn't learn it in high school nor college. I learned
Exactly.
it.
When did you find? When did you
Right.
figure out? When did you figure out the Dred Scott rule was still in effect?
Right. Exactly. When I became a grown ass man.
Exactly. So, but the thing of it is, it's already been rooted in you. They set the cornerstones when you was little.
That's right.
You soak it up when you were a sponge, and so you fall. Why do you think they got bells in schools?
Bells?
Because when they put you in the factory, when they had the bells, in
to make
school,
you
ring the
react
bell,
to
let
it.
you know when it's time to take classes.
It makes you react to a certain behavior. So when it ring, you know certain
Absolutely.
things you got to do.
Well, Henry Ford had it to where he had his production line. He ring bells.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You see, it's so all of this.
So
all
it
of
became
this.
a behavior, a
I'm saying
movement
to
of a
America,
behavior.
I'm saying,
Controllable
I'm
behavior.
saying to America.
Wow.
After Derek Chauvin, after the verdict, so what? And now what?
I know that's right.
What? You still ain't got no unity. You still gonna have Negroes call on the show talking about we ain't got no power.
I know that's
So,
right.
you know, and also DJ, check your email. I sent you a video of 100 Negro preachers that supported Mike Duggan in the last campaign.
When did you send that?
Before he even announced he was gonna run, huh?
Hey, Steve, when did you send that?
I sent that to you either today or yesterday.
Okay, I'm going to check my email on that.
It's 100 Negro pastors in this city that supported Mike Duggan before he even announced he was running. That's how bad it is here.
Well, let me tell you how bad it is on me. I hit a Bishop Park car going 2 miles an hour, 1 mile an hour, and he called in and said he was injured. And when men and man,
Well, that's what he's supposed to do.
Men and man was sitting up
DJ,
there
you got
talking,
it
man.
wrong. You call it what? And you say he was a bishop?
Yeah.
No, that is a pulpit pimp. That's a pulpit pimp. That's what they are.
Dude.
Come on now. These folks ain't leading you to salvation. They trying to lead you to a pyramid scheme. Primerica. Churches of today are now Primerica. They ain't leading you to no salvation.
Hey, Steve.
Come on, man.
Hey, Steve, I'll give you. Hey, Steve, I promise you, Mello, make sure you get Steve's number. Steve, I'm bringing you on in St. Louis on Sunday morning, man. This Sunday, you are coming in and we're going to have a conversation in St. Louis like you have every Sunday. I'm telling you, like we have every week with you. I want to introduce you to my St. Louis market, man. So be ready.
The bottom line is,
lock in.
ever since the black church became predominantly black women, they become pulpit pimps. Period.
Damn.
They don't care about salvation. They care about leading you to Primerica. How you can get that 10th in. We want that bringing it to the storehouse. I don't care where you go. They don't mess with that Luke or that Matthew. When it comes to that storehouse, that 10th, They don't mess that up. They don't mess that up. They might mess up everything else, but they don't mess up that. Bring all into my cup running over in the storehouse. But the bottom line is they ain't nothing but modern day Judas goats, leading their sheep to slaughter.
I know that's right. Hey, Steve, it's always good, big dog. Talk to me tomorrow, man. Make sure you call back. That's my man, Steve. Hey, we got to give Steve one of the callers of the night, man. Can we give him that mellow? There you go. Steve, you might one of my callers tonight. I'm going to get the big fella caller of the night t-shirts for y'all, man. We're going to do that. All right, let's go and talk to my girl, Redbone. What up, Bone?
Oh, say, can you see by the ghetto street lights?
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Okay.
God. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Hey, look, I'm back like the Mac, and I'm live in the charge, okay? I swear to God, Taylor irritates my soul sometimes, because she ain't never been married, don't have no kids, ain't never had no man whoop on her ass and had the police take you to jail after your husband to whoop your ass, okay?
Well, let me tell you. Okay, let me say this. I all transparent.
Yeah.
Taylor I'm really close to her, and let me say it. Ain't no man gonna put a hand on her. You can put that in the bank. You can put that one in the bank.
Bastards took me to jail and wouldn't even get me.
I understand, but I'm gonna make this clear. Ain't no man gonna put a hand on Taylor. You can put that one in the bank.
So she can't.
Okay.
Right. So she think the stuff she be talking about, that's some old, she Jack John. She not, but she's still young. She don't know. She ain't been where I've been, man. When I was in jail, I got out.
But you know what? That's her opinion.
And they wouldn't even drop me back off at the corner telegraphing 9 Mile.
So your man beat you up. He beat you up, and they would police arrest you for getting beat up. Your husband beat you up, and the police arrested you for him beating you up.
Exactly.
Why did that happen?
Exactly. Because he had already been to jail before, and they said if they had took him, he was going to do 3 years, so they took me instead.
So you agreed. So it sounded like, hold on, time out. Sound like you agreed to go so he wouldn't go back to jail. That's what it sounded like to me.
I ain't agreed for nothing. Come on now, who want to go to jail?
Hold on. Time out. So you're telling me, hold up. You're telling me.
No.
That's what you're saying. You're telling us, hold up, JC, make sure, and Solo, hold on, Redbone, let us make our point. You're telling me the dude jumped on you, and you, rather than, because if they take him to jail, although he was in the wrong, he was going to do 3 years, but the police had so sympathy for a black man and said, no, we're going to take you and study him. JC, I don't even believe that.
Oh, you ain't calling Redbone.
That's hard to believe, Red.
I ain't saying we calling you a lie. I'm just saying that's hard to believe. You know why? Because they like to put black men in jail. They've been doing that for years. For anything.
I believe.
Go ahead. Hold on, Redbone. Hold on, Redbone. Go ahead, Solo.
I believe what happened, Redbone drew blood.
That's
and
what I
when
believe.
they got there, he was bleeding.
That's what I believe.
So Redbone had to go.
Right. That's what I believe. I believe she stabbed him in the damn knee.
But why I go to elementary school, but the dude that took me to jail, I went to elementary school with, okay?
Okay, but see, now you're telling the story.
These are Redbone's true. These are Redbone's true Hollywood stories, okay?
But okay.
I went to elementary school with the dude that arrested me.
Well, because you didn't get down with him. He was trying to holler at you. You didn't holler at him, so he got you back.
You know what? Redbone, I told you I love my brother. And I'm not going to go any further than that.
Okay, well, let's leave it alone.
But I wanted to talk. Right, let's leave it alone. But the bottom line is, though, I went to jail on a Friday and didn't get out till a Monday. And do you know them jokers didn't even pay me the same respect? They done picked me up from my house and didn't have the same respect to take me home. Ain't that a where they do that at?
So they pick you up, so they're supposed to take you back home.
They couldn't even take me back home. Wow. Man, they could at least drop me off on the corner telegraph for 9 Mile. I could have walked home from there. I knocked on the door of the little van, and they was laughing at me. They ain't even give me a bus ticket.
Oh my God.
Okay, but anyway, I called. Listen, this is a true Hollywood ghetto redball story. Okay, it's a true ghetto redball story. So, but the bottom line is, I wanted to talk about George Floyd, and that's what I really wanted to talk about. I didn't want to talk about brothers and all that kind of stuff because, like I said, you know, that's something totally different. That's some other stuff. We have to talk about that another day. But I wanted to talk about George Floyd. You know, and Redbone be real emotional, okay? I was talking to my mama, right? And my mama was like, it's 5 o'clock. How come they ain't said nothing? I said, Mama, I said, don't worry about it. I said, you know, she all the way in another state. And I said, Mama, don't worry about it. And I said, they going to be on our side. They got to. They done murdered this man on tape. How you going to sit up there and they got me? I had tears running. And I'm a brother, so I'm real emotional and everything, right? I'm crying and everything. And I'm like, thank God, because I know if they hadn't charged that man, do you know how many cities would have erupted in all kinds of violence? It would have been off the chain in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, okay? All the way to Alaska to Hawaii. It would have been a mess. But the bottom line is, though, he deserved to go to jail. And the first it was 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Then it came to 9:26 or something like that.
Right.
Let me tell you something. I can't listen. I'm in my car today trying to change the air filter, okay? Now, I'm bending down just trying to lift the top up off my car so I can get to the air filter and change the filter, right? Because they was trying to charge me some $30-some. I said, I ain't no fool. I'll be fixing my car myself. You go on YouTube. You do anything you want. And I was changing my air filter, whatever, and both my knees cracked, and all I did was squat. So how you gonna sit up there and put your knee up?
Oh my God!
Especially my bad. Hey, you know, hey DJ, I ain't gonna play. My right knee is my bad knee, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I still can kick with the left one. So I mean, I still kick with the left one, okay?
All right, hey Redbone. All right, Redbone. We got get ready to take a break in a second. Oh my God! Hey, Redbone, make sure you call me tomorrow, babe. All right, make sure.
You know I will.
All right, hey Redbone.
All right, I ain't get a chance to say hi, Solo, Dolo, and Cook, and DJ. No, heard them.
I love some Redbone, y'all. I can't wait till we come to Detroit, folks. We gonna lock it in Detroit, man. Hey, man, before we go to break, I think we can let's sneak Tia in there real quick. What's up, Tia?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Hello?
How you doing, Tia?
Yeah. I'm okay. So I wanted to just kind of talk about the George Floyd. I wasn't celebrating him getting convicted. I knew he was going to get convicted. I want to see what the judge is going to give him so far as time is concerned. Is he going to give him the full 40 years, or is he going to give him 10, or something like that? That's what I want to see. I know your boy was on there earlier, and I think he was it someone or was a coach that asked him a question about the prosecutor saying that something about justice and there not being, I don't know, I can't quite remember exactly what he said, what he asked him.
I asked him, we talked about him waiving the sentencing from the jury. So the judge is actually going to sentence him and not the jury. He waived that part. So in other words, if he's found guilty, we were asking the question, what does that mean? Yeah.
No, I get that. It was something else that you said that the prosecutor had mentioned about, I guess that justice wasn't.
Justice and accountability. Yeah, justice opposed to accountability. Right.
Right. And so I kind of disagree with that attorney, his view of it. I think what that prosecutor was trying to say was that we should have charged him with murder 1, 2, and 3. Period. I think that the prosecutor felt as though that they could have got him on a murder 1. because that would have spoke to the premeditation. And I think that's kind of what he was trying to get at. Like, he should have been charged with murder one and convicted of murder one because of the premeditation. That's kind of what I feel.
But if you hey, Tia,
I'm not going to speak.
Tia, think about this.
Mm-hmm.
They had to come back and charge it because at first they had a lesser charge, like some third degree crap. Then they had to come back and add some charges on him. So they was not going to charge that dude murder one. Tia, that was not going to happen in a million years, regardless of what we thought.
Right, and so that is what I think the prosecutor is alluding to.
Hey, T, do you want to hold on? Hey, T, you want to hold over?
Huh?
Do you want to hold over?
Yeah, I can hold over.
Okay, we're going to hold over, my girl. I love T, man, because she be bringing the heat. My girl Tia is going to hold on. The big fella, the coach, and the expert, Solo, and JC. Holla at your boys, 313-778-7600. Coming back, got my girl Tia. Then we're going to go down and talk to, who else we got on here? We got my boy Terrence and Chuck. Call on in, folks. Let's lock it in. The big fella right back.
Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising?
Well, welcome back to the Demetrious Johnson Show. The big fella hanging out with the coach, the expert, the coach JC, the expert Solo, and hey, let me say some love to my man Amir in St. Louis. He with the Real STL TV. What's up, Amir, for listening, checking in on us from the Motor City up in Detroit. And my man, Sonny Metcalf, man. That's our legend. That's the legend of St. Louis, Sonny Metcalf, who done checked in. And then my man, Skeeter. What's up, Skeeter? Haven't talked to you in years, big fella. Thanks for following. This is the Demetrious Johnson Show in Detroit, Michigan, and 910 the Superstation. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 6 to 8 Central, 7 to 9 Eastern. All right, let's go back to my girl, Tia. What up, T?
Hey, thanks for keeping me over. So that's my main thing. I wasn't jumping up down celebratory about it. I knew he would get convicted, but I just want to see what the sentencing is going to be. That, to me, is what is going to determine my definition of justice. Secondly, we still got 3 other officers, which they probably will plead.
Yeah.
I want to see how much time they're going to get. That also speaks to my definition of justice. And we also still got this officer that killed Dante Wright.
Right.
Now, I just looked at that video for the first time yesterday. And like I said, I noticed that, her argument was that she thought she had pulled out her taser. And as we've learned, your Glock is on your dominant side for most people, which is their right hand. The taser is on the left. The other thing, your taser is battery powered. So you're not walking around with your taser turned on at all times.
Right.
You have to activate that taser. So that's another thing. You got to reach across to the other side. For some officers, I think they kind of turn it on before they get out the car so they can have to activate it already. But here's the thing that she's lying about. When she went up to the car as the 2 rookies were taking him out, he had one of the rookies had either the proof of registration or either proof of insurance in his hand. She touched Dante with her right hand and reached for his proof of registration with her left hand while they had him pushed up against the car. And that's when so she quickly moved from that left hand to the right hand to her dominant hand to hold it. Dante kind of broke away and got in the car. This woman took the registration and put it in her left hand, then reached down with her right hand and grabbed her Glock. Like you knew doggone suspicious that you knew what side you were reaching on, and then the gun is in view of the camera for 5 or 6 seconds before she shoots him. So you know you shot him. And then, after she shot him, she put the gun back in her holster, because if you look at the camera, her hand is free.
What?
She's still holding on to that proof of registration, though.
Wow.
That's not going to work. She needs to go. She needs to be convicted. She needs to be 20 or 30 years. So that's the justice I'm looking for there. And then it's what Steve said as well. While all of this is going on, we still have a political fight that we need to launch in Detroit, because we have a mayoral election coming up. And we have not, at least in the city of Detroit, there has been zero voter education. And we, to this day, we only know we know that Anthony Adams is running for mayor. Who else is running for mayor? Who else is running for city council? If politics are local, we're screwed. Because it's like, we're the politicians. And so that's what I'm looking for. We got a lot of fights.
And what we're going to do we're going to start talking about y'all upcoming election in Detroit a lot. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to make it conscious on what's going on. Now, you got to, you black folks got to stand up. We just did an inauguration of our first black female mayor. Now, St. Louis is now run by black folks. You got the comptroller of the city of St. Louis black. You got the president of our board of aldermen, who's black. And then you have the mayor's black. Those are the most 3 powerful political positions in the city of St. Louis. And now, guess what? It's in our hands. Let's see if we can get along, right? Let's see if we can make this thing work together. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
DJ, Detroit has been African American. We've had African American power for a long time, and now we don't have it. We need to get that power back. But I don't want to give my African American vote and get African American power from some African American house flag. It'd be the same as having a white woman there that is prejudiced. And that's my last question I got for you. I like Taylor. I like Taylor's take. I don't always agree with her, but I like her. She's feisty. I like her. Here's the question I got for you. Where do all of these sorry men come from?
All these what men?
What comes first? What comes first, the man or the boy?
What did you ask? Hold on, what was that question? What?
I said, where do all of these sorry simp men that you talk about, where do they come from?
Probably from a sorry-ass daddy.
First?
Probably the sorry-ass daddy.
What comes first, the man or the boy? Because I hear a lot of shifting to the African-American women. I don't really hear the accountability for the African-American man. It has to be a partnership, even if y'all two ain't together no more.
I agree.
I feel like a woman can raise a boy to a certain extent, but that African American man has got to come in and really teach that boy how to communicate with other men and women and things of that nature. But I just want to know where they come from. That's it.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Well, great. Hey, AT, make sure you call him on. Hey, T, hold on, T. When we come to Detroit, and I'm gonna let JC got a question. Hey, T, when we come to Detroit, make sure you hang out with us.
Bring some T-shirts.
I got some T-shirts for you. Go ahead, JC, before we let it go.
And to your comment, whether they're together or not, that woman has to allow that man to be the nurturer of that boy. See, some women like to get in the way now, especially when it ain't about her. I done seen a lot of that.
I agree.
Some women like to get in the way and not let him be the daddy.
And you know where that comes from. That woman still wants that man. That's what that problem is. But men have to learn to be nurturers, and men generally are not nurturers because they're not raised to be nurturers.
Well, you know what? That's a great point, and man, you call early tomorrow. We're gonna take that up tomorrow, man. I want to have a conversation with you about that tomorrow. I'm gonna think about what you just said,
really
nurture. All right.
I'm glad I talked with all of y'all, and it's just nice talking with all of y'all every night. And whenever I call, so I appreciate it. Y'all guys have a nice night. Okay?
Hey, Tia, you do say thank you so much, Tia. Appreciate it, man. I love some Tia, man. That's my girl. Let's go to my man Terrence. What's up, Terrence?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man?
Thank you, man, for holding. We appreciate your patience, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I've been on a while. But you know what, man? I'm sitting up here and I'm listening to your conversation, brother. And, it's two things. There was a guy back here when you first came on who had made some comments about, people rejoicing about this verdict, man. Listen, first of all, I think that it was the right call they made with this verdict because this man had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, and it was just outrageous. They could not have acquitted him of that crime. But here's my problem. He got what he deserved. He won't be putting his knee on nobody else's neck now in that prison. The only knee he'd be putting on is that hard concrete floor. So he got what he deserved. But the passion that we as black people show for this verdict, it's good that it was out there and whatnot, but like that brother said, who first came on your station, and then commented, it was a 7-year-old girl in Chicago.
Yep.
That was shot 6 times. You hear me? They pumped 6 to 7 bullets in that young baby. Heartbreaking. Now, how I equate that to what you said about it being some weak brothers out here. And yes, I said it. Some people might not like it, but there are some weak brothers out here. They were standing ready all over the country, if they acquitted that guy, to tear up this whole urban setting of cities. They weren't going to step in the suburbs, but they were ready to tear up where they live. Now, how come this same passion, outrage, cannot be for what's going on down there in Chicago? Mm-hmm. And I don't want to hear about people saying, oh, they doing this, they doing this. It is literally a war going on in Chicago. When you have a baby shot down like that, man, there should be more than outrage across this country. There should be outrage in this world. You can hear a pin drop now. They're not talking about that baby being shot. Yes, Mr. Chauvin got what he deserves. But let's bring that same passion to stop these killings, not only in Detroit, St. Louis, Jacksonville, Chicago, wherever. Man, we're a flawed race, man, and it's shameful. We'll tear up our city. We'll tear up anything when we get a chance. But it's something that you can make a difference. It's no outrage. Now, I want to hear your opinion on that.
Well, let me say this to you, man. You are 1,000,000%. You are 1,000,000% right. We talk about it all the time. That I get pissed off when Black Lives Matter, when white folks kill a black person. But black lives ain't mattering when black folks are killing black folks. And I get pissed off about that, Terrence. You're 100% right. That little girl, innocent 7-year-old girl, getting shot 6 times in Chicago is a damn tragedy. That's more than a tragedy, man. Hey, man, let me give you another one. It was a guy sitting in front of some place here in St. Louis with his daughter. She was a young girl. You know, maybe about 10, 11. Kills the daddy, walk around the car, and shoot the girl up. Shoot her so bad up. Kill a kid, shoot her so bad. She got shot 8 times. I mean, she was 8 years old. Got shot up. It was so bad that they didn't even want the parents to see the kid in that condition. I am telling you, these young folks are dying at an alarming rate, and people won't sit up here and say, "Oh, there you go again." Hey, man, this stuff is all orchestrated, man. I mean, because guess why? Let me tell you why it's orchestrated. Because they're not even solving the murders. They're not even finding the criminals.
And then I'm gonna say this: some people may not like it, and I really don't care. But they're feminizing all black males. Every time you turn around, there's a black male with a dress on. I mean, man, come on now.
A black man with a what on?
With a dress on.
You know what? Hey, hold on, Terrence. Terrence, let me jump on your bandwagon on this one. I was just watching some commercial the other day. It just came on TV. And them 2 black men up there kissing one another. See, they're making it a normal. That's a normal that black men is passionate like that. I have no problem with guys if you're gay or you're not gay. It don't matter to me. However, you don't have to make me look at it, and don't tell me that don't influence a mindset of a kid. You got a 2, 3, 4-year-old kid watching a TV set, seeing a man kiss another man. You think that ain't gonna become damn? Is that what it is? Come on, man. You're 100%.
Let me say this, and then I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Go ahead, Terrence.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox, man. We in trouble, man. You know, we come from 400 and something years of slavery, but we as a race, we are in trouble. The music they put out, the guns they put in these communities, everything that we've talked about. But what stands out to me is you got big grown men that stand around and let these young guys run around these neighborhoods with these guns, shooting up 6 and 7-year-old kids, man. But, you know, that should be unacceptable. And then all you get is people running around marching talking about we shall overcome.
And I'm going to say this to you before you hang up.
They're not solving the murders like you said.
Hey, I'm going to hang up. Before you hang up, I'm going to tell you this. You remember Scarface? The movie Scarface that everybody looked at, even in the Superfly. What thing they didn't do in those movies? I remember Scarface when Al Pacino was playing in it, and this guy came out and he had his family with him. They did get in the car and they was about to shoot up the car, and Al Pacino looked and said, "No, we don't kill kids and women. That's off limits. It ain't no rule in the game no more, man. They're just killing, and then just act like it's big to kill a whole generation of family." Do you think that 7-year-old kid or that 6-year-old kid, Terrence, do you think that kid knew what the daddy was involved in? Do you think they had any control what the mom and daddy involved in? Don't punish them because of your sorry ass.
So this is one thing this is one thing I want to know. Have a forum with these young black males from 15 to 40, because you got some sorry 40-year-olds.
Okay, DJ, be careful. We approaching that hour where you start clipping in and out.
Okay.
That's my case. Have a good day.
All right. Hey, man. Terrence, thank you, man. Great call, man. Great call. All right, let's go to my man, Mark. Hey, what's up, Mark? We got Mark there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Hey, man. Hey, can you hear me, JC?
Hello?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, Mark. The guy, Mark, why don't you go ahead and take Mark off?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, take the Mark off the phone, man, because he can't hear us. Can you go ahead and do we have, did we lose Chuck Mello?
Yeah, we lost Chuck. So we lost Chuck, and if you want, you can also go ahead and bring Redbone back on whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's bring him back. What's up, Redbone?
You sure I want me back? You sure y'all want me back?
Well, you call. What you got, baby? Tell me what you got.
Okay, no, because I didn't get a chance to finish talking about the village, DJ.
Well, go
Let me
ahead.
tell you something. Redbone was very fortunate. I'm going to tell you. Like, when I started singing, whatever the hell it was. I don't even know what it was. But I remember because Redbone grew up in alternate schools with the Caucasian people. So, I wanted to talk about, seriously now, this is me now, okay? I wanted to talk about the village. And I'm going to tell you, this is real talk. Coach, Solo, Dolo, and DJ Don't Hurt. But what I wanted to talk about was the village. I'm going to tell you, and this is the real truth, DJ. If I didn't have a village, I don't know where I would be. Because my mind was so ghetto fabulous that when I was young, I bought my first convertible. And my son, the only thing I really cared about, he was a baby. His daddy wasn't. But I thought that if I dressed him really fresh and clean and I put glasses on him and we in my convertible and everything, we riding around, everything was good. But when the sun came down, that was something totally different. I gave my parents, and that was what it was. But I can't say the sad thing, but the lucky thing about it was, DJ, that I had Solo and Coach, that I had a village. Now, a lot of people are not as lucky as me to have a village, and I'm going to say this, and this is really some, I don't want to cry, but my parents had to send my child to my cousin to take care of him for my 2 or 3 years until pretty much I could get myself together, okay? And the hardest thing, I don't want to cry on it, but the hardest thing was for me when I drove off and I saw my baby cry and I was driving off. But, DJ, I had a village. And that right there is more than anything else. Than anything. If you have Big Mama or somebody like that, not the next generation, that will help you raise that child. And now I'm going to tell you that child, let me tell you, though, DJ, Coach, and Solo, that child is extremely successful. That boy bought me food, let me tell you, when I didn't have no food. That boy bought me food. And I'm being vulnerable. But when I didn't have nothing to eat over here, I opened the door one day, it was groceries at my doorstep. Okay? So having a village means everything. And I was very fortunate, I should say. I was extremely fortunate. But I wish other children and other families would have that same strength that they would have to at least the second generation to look out for them. Because that's the only thing them and our children after them are going to be able to be successful. Other than that, our race is going to die. We're just going to die. We're going to die off. And we're going to forever be consumers. We're going to be forever stepped on. We're forever being murdered. We're just going to forever being like the lost race. The bottom line is because nobody looks at us as black people as being human. They still see us as 3/4 of a man. They don't see us as black men and black women. As people, they don't see us as that. Because how can you, I'm telling you, let me tell you something. I'm good at 200 pounds. And if I could put my bad knee on Derek Chauvin's neck for 9 minutes and however many seconds, if I could stand that long.
Right.
And that's what somebody should have done
I know that's
in the
right.
courtroom to see how long it would take him to not being able to breathe. And I'm not talking about a big person. You could get a person that's 120 pounds
No, you're right.
to kneel on his neck.
I agree, but let's do this.
That's what I wanted more than anything.
Okay. Well,
thank you, DJ.
thank you. Give me a call. Give me a call tomorrow.
You could have put him tired.
I know. Thank you, bro. Call me tomorrow, man. Yeah, I'm in a lot of noise in the background, JC and Solo. I'm in a lot of noise. All right, let's go back to the phone. Let's go to Chuck. What's up, Chuck?
Yes, good afternoon, my good brother, and good evening, everyone.
How you doing, my man?
I would just like to express a couple of thoughts for a moment.
Yes, sir.
You have to realize that sometime in your life that this particular system that we have gotten ourselves involved in is producing weaker and weaker centuries, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When we got here 400 years ago, there were strong black people. Now this race is so doggone weak. All they do is whine and cry. They don't try to resolve the issues that's in front of them. They weep like little babies. I mean, grown-ass men and women cry all the time. Nothing wrong with being sensitive, but doggone, man. Get off your knees and look people in the face and in the eyes and take control of your life. Realize you're a human being. You're not mankind. You're a human being. The ones got you under control is mankind. They not human beings. Yeah, man. You gotta wake up. You gotta wake up, man. You can put to sleep some kind of way.
Well,
food, that means you're not getting nutrition.
Well, I can tell you this.
That's why you're hungry all the time.
But let me tell you this.
What?
That's a total result of people our age, guys in their 50s, mid 40s. Them guys, that's our problem. You know why? Because we're not teaching that to these young boys. Guess why? Because the young boys ain't listening. Because first of all, they don't have no base at home that's going to force them to listen to us or make them sit down and listen to us. You see what I'm saying? Who's gonna?
I'm teaching someone,
I'm not saying you're not, but I'm talking about our masses. The masses, you're not teaching the masses. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You got a few that you got contact with. However, it made me, you, Solo, Coach, and other black men to step up to the plate and be black men for these young black boys.
You know why my brother, they're not listening because old people have lied to them so long. Reverends and preachers get up every Sunday and tell them lies. They don't tell them how to control their life and how to be strong. They tell them lies. They program them. Okay? That's why they don't listen anymore. They'd rather find out for themselves. Hook, crook, or whatever. I'm not listening to you no more. I'm going to do this on my own. I can't trust y'all. Okay? That's where it's at right now.
But I can understand that. However, you got to understand a lot of that rap music, that gangster lifestyle that portray, women, money, and riches, that's got a lot to do with it, man.
It's by design. It's by design.
Yeah, I can say that.
Anything that tears down is appropriate. Anything that builds up, that's taboo.
I can see that, man.
You know how it is when you try to control folks.
I agree. Hey, Chuck.
You give them the worst you have to offer.
Hey, Chuck. I agree with you on that. So what's your thought on that?
I agree with him 100%. Everything is broken. The village situation is where now you can literally go into a club, a nice spot, and see the mama, the daughter, and the granddaughter all out popping their toes while the great grandkid is at home watching himself.
Damn, dropping it like it's hot. Oh my God. Hey, Chuck, thanks for your call, man. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's go. Now, this is my girl. I've been trying to figure out where she's been. Let me bring my girl Grace in. What up, Grace?
Hello, Mr. Jackson. How are you?
Hey, Grace, where have you been, man?
Hello.
Where have you been, Grace?
I'm going to have to check. I have a family issue, so I've been dealing with that.
You sound like you're on speakerphone. Are you on speakerphone?
I took it off.
There you go. Go ahead. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me better? I took it off.
Yes.
Okay. I've been listening, and just the gentleman just got off, and let's say, and I hear you guys. I truly hear you, but I still hear you with the woman. But listen, the DNA of the male is there too, and no matter how you raise this particular child, DNA will take over, and it's a toss-up. 5 children can be in the same household, and you can still ask 5 children 30 years later, how were you raised? They still have a different perception of what their household was like. Hold
on, Grace. Hold on, Grace. Hold on. Time out. Now, you're right. I mean, you have 5 different people. Like, I love all my kids, but I treat them all differently because they're made differently. However, a kid, it's nothing 100%. All right? I agree with you. It's nothing 100%. You treat them all right. You're doing all the right things. They still could turn out to be, terrible. However, the chances, you got to look at the numbers. Statistics shows you differently. When you come from a loving, hardworking family, doing all the right things, you have a better chance of succeeding. And your kids have a better chance of succeeding because they saw and they see and they witnessed, they lived in that positive environment. Most killers come from killer backgrounds. Somebody in their family was killers. And that's the reality. So, I mean, don't assume.
DNA.
Yeah, but don't assume because, you come from a good family that you're still going to be bad. You have a better chance to succeed coming out of a great family than not coming out of one. So I'd rather take my chance on raising a kid.
And I agree with that.
Go ahead.
And I understand that. I understand that particular point. But your gentlemen talk about what's wrong with our young men. And you guys are not making it a teachable moment. You're criticizing. So why would they listen to you and Coach or your other co-hosts? And you guys have said great things. But
okay, I'll tell you what, Grace. Grace, let me do this. Let me let JC address that, and then Solo, then we'll come back to you. Can we go about 2 minutes? Go ahead, Coach.
Okay.
Well, one of the things I would just like to say about I'm an educator, so I work with young men every day. While I uplift them, Grace, I'm honest with them. See, I don't sugarcoat things. See, I'm not really a kumbaya guy. I'm not a kumbaya coach. If you don't do certain things, it's not going to be okay for the black man, Greg. If I don't work hard, I don't go to school, I don't try to get an education, it's not going to be okay. So if that's criticism, I'm glad that I'm criticizing them because I'm letting them know that if you don't do these certain things, you got to be better. You got to be better. You got to be better than your counterparts. You know, real quickly, I'm going to say this because I work in two different environments. I work in a private school environment and I work in a public school environment. I watch the kids that look like me come into that private school environment. I tell DJ this all the time. And they code switch, which lets me know they know what to do, but you got to make sure that they doing it. They get in that environment with them white kids and they do exactly what they supposed to do. However, they go to that other environment that's not as disciplined and they act just like everybody else is acting. So I do hold feet to the fire, and I am critical of them because you know what? The society is critical of them.
Solo, you got 30 seconds, Solo.
And I understand that, and I can agree with
Hold on, Grace. Solo, go ahead, real quick.
Well, I just want to say this real quick. All I have ever done was try to uplift our youth, our black males, and I specifically run a foundation that focuses on black males. So me criticizing a black woman really wasn't that. It's just that most kids that come to my foundation come with their mother and not their father. So the father's not there. So that's what I was saying.
All right, Grace, go ahead. You got 10 seconds, Grace.
I truly get that, and I'm great you're doing impactful things for our young youth. But just watch the way that you dictate to them and have a conversation with them. I truly believe in real life applicative conversations. Don't hold anything back. But watch how you talk to them. Don't dictate to them. Just talk to them.
Okay. Hey, Grace, we'll talk. Call me tomorrow early, Grace, because I miss you, girl. I really do. Thanks for the call. All right, let me say this. Say hello. You got 10 seconds. You're close.
Hey, it was a great show. Look forward to coming back, and the verdict was a good verdict, and hopefully this country will start to heal itself.
JC?
Hey, it's a great day today, man. Great insight. Great show, man. I love the Detroit Callers.
All right, I'm going to say this. Grace, thank you for your call. Mike, you always got my back. To my girl, Katy Perry, thank you, the Queen. I know you're listening. I love you, Queen. I'm going to say this real quickly, folks. It is very imperative that we keep it real with our young folks. We don't sugarcoat it. Grace, that's why the boys are really on more, because their mamas are raising them and treating them like old girls. They're emotional. They make emotional decisions, do emotional, silly-ass stuff. So it doesn't mean me being hard on my son or any young black boy, too bad, because I'm going to do it. Because guess what? Me being hard on them, going to give them a chance to live. Somebody else being hard on them, they may not live to see tomorrow. Thank you for listening to me, Detroit. I don't take it for granted. I'm so honored and thankful that Detroit, you've accepted me in your life and take moments and time out of your day to listen to me. I'm honored. Mellow Mike, thank you, big fella. Tomorrow, same time, same station, the big fella, the coach, and the mayor will be with you tomorrow at 7. Stay locked and loaded. Be out. Thank you.
Honey, that's the last.
All right, we are out. Thank you, my love. Appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow, man.